Over the course of the entirely predictable, slow-rolling, five-alarm thermonuclear dumpster fire that has been Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter these past few weeks, one of the few saving graces has been this, that even after sweeping layoffs, chaotic changes, and reports of cratering company morale, at least there were still a handful of people there keeping the lights on, minding the important stuff, in charge of things like security, safety, privacy. No more. In the last 48 hours, 3 top executives in charge of things like security, safety, and privacy resigned. Now, whether or not you use Twitter, I know lots of you do, surely you can understand how fraught a moment like this could be. The app that has, for better or worse, become a kind of national town square where hundreds of millions of people interact with one another, message one another, and wittingly or unwittingly share information, opinions, views, news. Now, protective measures are disappearing. Consider this from Politico. Quote, between the now canceled rollout of its controversial new checkmark policy and the exodus of top security staff, Twitter is quickly exposing itself to a deluge of new security risks that could soon ramify into the public sphere, according to top cyber experts and those who've overseen cybersecurity at other companies. From users impersonating emergency service providers to spread panic to extortionists stealing and leaking private messages stored on Twitter. Quoting one cybersecurity expert, quote, it is staggering to imagine the amount of risk that this platform has opened itself up to. Let's bring in business and tech journalist Kara Swisher. She's a contributing editor at New York Magazine. She's the host of not one, but 2 podcasts, The Pivot and On with Kara Swisher. So nice to have you here. At the table, NBC News senior reporter Ben Collins joins us, and Alicia is still here. She's going to help me try to unpack this with the 2 of you. So, Kara, you've helped me understand who Elon Musk is and that he had extraordinary success with Tesla and SpaceX. Twitter seems like a hot mess. What happened?
Or a cold mess. I'm not sure what you want to call it. It's, I thought, of all the people that could have helped fix this, Elon Musk could have been at the top of my list. I'm sort of surprised by the casual cruelties, the kind of chaotic chaos monkey kind of behavior, the pontificating on Twitter as a person, but also the CEO, and the treatment of these people at Twitter. Now, layoffs are going on all over tech, but not in this format. I've never seen anything like it, actually, in my covering of all of Silicon Valley for 25 years.
So, Kara, I want to ask you a question sort of from my lens. I watched a lot of people on the right flatter figures, not just Donald Trump, but other figures, and then watch them implode, lose a moral compass, lose any attachment to anything that resembles conservative policy. And I saw them do that to Elon Musk. But based on your reporting of his other business successes, I thought surely he won't destroy himself in service of those people. It looks like he is.
Oh, I'm not sure what he's doing because, by the way, he would turn on them if he wanted. I've known him for many years. He was a big fan of Obama's. He had real problems with Trump. We talked about it quite a bit. We've talked about it on stage publicly. He had been an independent, I would say. And then he seems to have embraced, I'm not going to say red pilled because I think that's unfair. I think he seems to have embraced being contrarian for no good reason except to be contrarian and rail against the media or liberals or Biden, whatever he wants to. And part of it is maybe he's changed his viewpoint. The other part is small, petty things. Like I think Biden didn't include him in some automobile, electric vehicle stuff, as he should have. And I think he was mad about it. I don't know any other explanation but that.
Yep. So when we get mad, we destroy Twitter. What do you think is going on, Ben?
I think the red pilling thing is correct. So red pilling on the internet, that's the word for right-wing radicalization. They took that from The Matrix. And you remember that whole thing? Take the blue pill, take the red pill, see reality with the red pill, right? And, the people who made The Matrix say, please stop co-opting my stuff, by the way. But, this follows the same pattern as those people. If you see the people he's interacting with right now, after he lost all the advertisers, after he's angry about, the fact that the advertisers don't want free speech, a.k.a. they don't want to be impersonated if you're the Nintendo Corporation and they don't want Mario flipping off all of their customers, which is what was happening yesterday. Red pilling is what happened to this guy. This guy has had a very rough couple of weeks because he's taking advice from people who fundamentally want the world to burn.
What is happening on Twitter right now?
Okay.
What is not happening on Twitter right now is really more the question.
That's exactly right. So, like, first of all, they're not. I don't see how they're making $1 right now, right? All the advertisers are bailing because of the impersonation issues, and they should. Think about it, like, say you bought a flight at Delta, flight gets canceled. You think you're DMing with Delta. You think you're giving them your credit card numbers through DMs, but you're DMing some random guy who bought an $8 check mark.
That says Delta.
That's the point of Twitter now. That's the very idea of the
So
verification.
should we all get off?
I wouldn't do any customer service there, certainly. If you want to go there and see a website that's in flames, if you want to see a house that's on fire, you can go to Twitter. But if you want to do business and stuff, I would not hang around on Twitter. And the advertisers aren't funneling in money. And right now they've turned off this verification thing too. So their entire plan is to get 50% of users, which is millions or eventually billions of users, to spend this $8, and they're having trouble getting the thousands and tens of thousands. So I don't know how this survives. I just gotta be real with you. I do not see how this website survives into the next year.
It was going to be my question to Ben or to Kara, which is, once you have chaos like that unleashed, is there even a way to rein it back in?
Yeah, Kara, why don't you take that?
Yeah. Of course there is. Of course, it's a business. Obviously, their advertising has fallen apart, and it did before he bought the company, because the people who used to run the company, when they were asked at the New Fronts what he's going to do, they were like, we don't know. He just yells at us. And so they didn't have any advertising booked, and that's the real problem. And one of the things they're doing, weirdly enough, is saying advertisers are woke. I'm sorry, they want to make money. And if it works, they advertise where it works. And if there was a Satan website and they could sell Fitbits, they would do it. They would just do it. This is where they make money, they get leads and things like that. They don't feel safe on the platform. And this is good evidence, whether it's Chiquita or Lilly, free insulin, things like that. It could be fixed. And if it isn't fixed, there's going to be alternatives. I'm talking to a lot of entrepreneurs. There is stuff built right now, and I'm not talking about Mastodon, which already exists and much more difficult to use for regular consumers. But entrepreneurs are like, this is a great opportunity. We can build something with more moderation, with more people we know and things like that. It's an enormous opportunity, and people are going to slip in.